Hi guys, we're going to attempt to tell you the birth story because we know it's been like 5 months plus. We're going to try our best. He's going to be screaming along in the background. Happily screaming, though. So, hope you enjoy. So, let's get into it. Let's see. It's been so long. I guess we'll start with she was at 41 and a bit weeks. And then she had to go for, actually, you're at 40 weeks, and then you went to the doctor, to the OB, and then she was like, oh, do you want to be induced or not? And then you're
No,
like,
she sent me for a fetal assessment first.
yeah, but didn't she say like, oh, do you want it or something?
She asked me that after the fetal assessment.
Okay.
I had the fetal assessment done at 40, just over 40 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I saw her at 40, and then she said she was sending me for like just an ultrasound to see if the baby was okay and why it hasn't come out yet. And then
And she went.
yeah,
There,
I did
hospital.
the ultrasound, and the tech said that I looked like I was about probably
High tens.
No. Okay, that
Oh.
too. She said I was going to have a high nines, probably 10-pound baby. So that scared me. But also she said that it looked like I was 2 weeks overdue, not so that I was 42 weeks, not 40 weeks along. And so then when I went back to my OB, she said, like, oh, do you want to be induced or do you want it to come naturally? And I was like,
Get this baby out of me.
kind of want, especially because the ultrasound tech said, like, oh, a 10-pound baby. I was like, we need to get this baby out stat.
Anyway, so she freaked me out too because I was just in the car because I dropped her off at the hospital.
Because he wasn't allowed in with me
because of COVID. So then she was like texting me, and then she's like, I'm really freaked out. This baby is gonna like be huge or something, and hold on, I gotta go. And I'm like, what?
Because the tech, it said no phones allowed, like absolutely no phones in this room. And then the tech left for a second to go get like the doctor, and then I was messaging him, and then she came back in, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta put my phone away because no phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we were really freaked out, and then the hospital said that they would call us, but we didn't know what day that would be. And I think that was on the 8th, right? On December 8th?
No, the 9th.
No, December 8th is when they told us.
Oh,
That
yeah.
they would call us.
They told us on the 8th that, oh, we'll call you sometime in, like,
Sometime
it
this
could
week.
be, yeah, like a week or something. But, like, because I was on the list. So, like, if somebody needed something more urgent, then obviously they wouldn't call me because then I wasn't really in an urgent case.
Yeah. And then it was the 9th, so it was the next day around 10 a.m. when we got the call. So then she was freaking out, but I was pretty calm. I'm always pretty calm and collected.
I wasn't
You were freaking out.
I wasn't freaking out at that point
Yes, you were.
necessarily because I thought that they were
You and
gonna
your mom were just freaking out. They couldn't even pack bags. Like, that's how much they were freaking
Okay,
out.
we didn't need to pack bags because I already had those packed like weeks before.
Yeah, but you're like, she's like, you need this, and then you're like, I don't even know what that is right now. She's like,
Okay.
a jacket? And then you're like, I don't know. So anyways, we finally,
Panicking.
yeah. So
Stressful.
we finally got to the hospital within like 30 minutes of them calling because the hospital's pretty close. And then we got triage, so we got checked in. We got a room. I mean, not a room. We got like, what do
We
you
were
even
in,
call
like,
that?
the-
Like a
like the-
transitional bed sort of area.
Yeah. So like they wait to assess you and then
Yeah.
you move to your own room.
Oh, because we didn't know if we were being induced today. They were going to start, I don't even remember what it was called.
They
Like
were
a
gonna,
gel.
yeah. See, my OB told me that they were probably, since I wasn't dilated, or I was only 1 centimeter when my OB checked me. She said that they were probably gonna use a gel, and then send me home, and then like that would start the labor. But so we were waiting for the doctor in the hospital. To
Oh yeah,
come.
so we actually didn't have our bags. Like we just had them in the entranceway, but we didn't bring them
At
with
home.
us yet. Yeah, like they were still at home. But then
Because we weren't sure if we were staying yet.
Yeah.
Because my OB said you'll probably go home. So that's why I wasn't entirely freaking out, because I thought that I would be coming home.
But anyway, so then it took like almost 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. But then we finally saw a doctor, and then the doctor was like, "Well, you're 3 centimeters, so we're just gonna keep you here." And then she freaked out even more.
And then I freaked out because then we were staying. So then I had to call my mom, and I was like, "You need to bring the bags. We're gonna stay." And then they were gonna start me on the Pitocin drip, which is what it's the induction.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got into the room. Do you remember what room?
10.
Room 10. Which he was born on that day. Well, spoiler alert. But anyway, so we got into the room. We had our first nurse, and she was just getting off shift because it was around 3, so that's sort of when they're switching shifts. So she didn't do very much. She just like explained what the drip was and stuff like that. And then she left, and then her favorite nurse came in. What's her name again?
Donna.
Ghana. So she came in, and then it actually started off rough though, because she tried to put the line in and she missed.
Like the IV.
Yeah. And then she missed, but then she said, "I don't miss twice," or something like that, which I hope not. But then
And I
they
don't
got
like
the Pitocin drip
needles.
going. Yeah.
So that was hard.
And then they were raising it by 0.5 milligrams every half hour, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was about it.
But I think my contractions, that was around like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
that I started the drip. And then the contractions, we were just playing games and stuff.
Oh yeah, we're playing cards and watching TV.
I'll insert a couple pictures. Yeah, so we played cards.
Skipped every meal. We didn't have lunch. We didn't have lunch or supper.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then around, you had minor contractions, but it wasn't
I
until
had
like
little
8.
ones. Yeah, little ones that I was just like, oh, ow, that kind of hurts. But then it wasn't until 8, and then she told me, she said, oh, I'm gonna actually get you to lie down on your right side because like baby's doing weird things, like his heart was dipping or something, like his heart rate. I don't know, like every contraction it would like dip. She talked me through all of the things that I could have, and then I said I didn't want anything, but then I said, if I change my mind, can I have something? So then when the contractions actually started, I was like, yes, I want something. But I didn't want an epidural because like, I don't actually know. It wasn't like that bad, but the fentanyl made them like, I don't know, it took the edge off just a touch, but it was
A lot.
still pretty bad. Well, not a lot, because
And she was pretty polite. And then she needed the fentanyl, and then she was allowed it every 15 minutes. But then in the early bit, she was waiting like over an hour.
Because I didn't want that much.
And then
of
she
it.
would ask, and she'd be like, has it been 15 minutes yet? And then they're like, yeah, you can have a dose. You could have had it a while ago. But she was super polite about it. And then the nurse asked me, and she said, is she always this nice? And she was too polite.
Apparently.
Even when giving birth. And then we asked the nurse Donna, because there's like 8 or 9 right now. And she was, I think you're only like 5 or 6 centimeters. Only like 5 or 6 centimeters at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then, actually, I think your contractions were like getting so bad that they stopped increasing the drip at 0.5. I think it was around then. They were
Yeah.
getting bad, and then they slowed it down.
Because they were coming every like minute.
Every
or
minute.
so. So then, like,
You don't have a chance
and I didn't.
to rest.
And also, like, I was only, like 6 centimeters, so you can't it was
Yeah.
going too quickly.
Yeah. Anyway, so then Donna left, but then she promised us that we'd have like the baby in the morning, like early morning, like it wouldn't take too much longer, even though we were only halfway there because we were at 6 centimeters, well, just over half. And then she left, and then the new nurse came in. That was Haley, and then
I don't remember their names. I don't even remember Donna.
anyway, but then we were at 7, and we were stuck at 7 until like 1 in the morning. And then she was like clocked out, but she couldn't sleep because she was still having contractions. But then a different doctor came in, and then he said, oh, we'll break your water, and then you'll open up like a lot faster. Because we were stuck at 7 for a few hours. Like from 11 to 1, basically. So anyway, so then the first doctor went in. He couldn't break her water. I don't know, he was some...
I think he was like in training.
Yeah, he was an intern or something. But anyway, and then the real doctor came in. He broke her water. And then it was hard to watch because she couldn't like walk and she was in extreme pain.
Yeah, that hurt.
But she had to like pee. So we had to like
Well, 'cause
walk
that's
her.
what-
We had to walk her to the bathroom.
Because when they broke it, it feels like you just peed all over, but...
Nice fart.
It's still going.
Oh my. Was there something? Oh, he just pooped. Then it took us like almost 40 minutes to do that.
To
But
go
then-
pee.
Yeah.
Because I had to be walked to the bathroom.
And like you couldn't walk.
And then I had to sit there and then I couldn't pee because obviously I didn't have to pee. I just
Yeah.
felt
Anyway,
like
and then
it.
we barely got her back into bed. And then the doctor came back in. I think the original doctor came back in.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're at 9 centimeters. So we'll just try pushing, you know, just to try it. You know, give it a...
Because
give it a
normally
whirl.
people
'Cause
push
normally
for
it takes a
like
while.
an hour or something.
Yeah. So she was like, okay, you're 9 centimeters, but we'll just start because like the last centimeter will happen eventually.
Also, I was having the urge to push.
Yeah.
So I was like,
And
I
then-
need to push.
And then our nurse went on break. Hi. And so our nurse went on break. It was about 1:30 in the morning. Or to be exact, 1:36, I think, when we started pushing. 1:30. I don't know. It took 29 minutes basically to push. But so we're at 9 centimeters. So yeah, so we started pushing. Well, she did.
We did. Push, honey, push.
Hey, I was helping a lot.
Yeah, he was doing my count for me every push because
Yeah.
the nurses were too busy doing something else, I guess. So every time they'd say, now take a break, and then they'd go, okay, push again, and then he'd go, okay, 1, 2, 3, you know.
Yeah, so we started pushing. The new nurse came.
Hi.
The new nurse came in, and then she basically came in when the baby's head was already like crowning. So she was like, oh God, we got to get a doctor in here quick. So we were like pushing, and then the doctor came in, and so he was like coming out. And then you're doing, what are you doing? You're doing like the normal one. So she was like grabbing onto the rope
The
on the
towel,
bar.
they had
Yeah.
the blanket or whatever on the bar, and then you like pull as you push.
Yeah, so she was doing that.
I liked that.
Hi.
And then when the doctor came in, the real doctor, to like, you know, get the baby out, they took the bar and towel thing away from me, and I was like, no, I need that. How am I supposed to push?
Yeah.
But I did it.
And then she just had to like grab her legs.
Yeah.
And then basically his head was out, and then the rest of him just fell out pretty quickly after that.
It fell out.
And then the doctor just plopped him on top.
Yeah.
Plopped him on top. No complications. Perfectly healthy. Red baby, but he was crying a lot. And then,
You sound like a parakeet.
what's a parakeat?
A bird. A parakeet.
Oh, yeah. So he came out, plopped on top. I guess like they wiped him. It's kind of a blur. And then we're like looking at him. Yes?
Was it traumatic for you?
Yes, you're in so much pain.
Oh, yeah. Spousal support pain.
Anyway, and then I guess the placenta kind of just fell out.
No, she tugged it.
Oh yeah.
And he said you're not supposed to do that,
Yeah, you're
but
not
she
supposed to do
tugged
that.
it and it was...
She knows more than me though. She's a doctor.
Yeah, but that was the weirdest... Oh my god.
It's like I don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
It's kind of like maybe if you have like a hair in your butt crack when you pull it.
No? Does that hurt?
No.
Didn't think so.
So then it was all done, and she fell asleep almost like immediately after.
I was exhausted.
Once like the nurse came.
Born
She was born
on
8
December
pounds.
10th.
She was born December 10th.
8 pounds, 11 ounces. At 2:06
What was his
in
length?
the morning. 20.5 inches long.
20.5 inches. And then yeah, so then like the nurse took him, and she was like weighing him and stuff. The original nurse, who was like on shift, and then she basically came in, and then the baby was delivered. Because you take like a 30-minute break. And
I remember though, when she went on break, she said, "Don't have this baby while I'm on break," and then I did.
You had the whole thing. But anyway, and then so Haley was measuring the baby, and then she's like, "Oh, you can hold him now." So I got to hold him, and then she was clocked out.
I was just,
And then he wouldn't stop crying. Oh no, wait. The nurse was holding him, and then he was crying, and then I was holding him, and then he stopped crying.
And then they moved us rooms.
Yeah, into like the recovery rooms.
Yeah, into the recovery room. And so I just remember that I had to...
Get
I
out.
tried feeding him first. And then I swear I fed him for like 2 hours. And then, like, then they're like,
Wasn't working.
"Oh, okay, we have to move rooms." So then they put me in a wheelchair.
But we didn't get a recovery room, so I hadn't slept either. So I didn't have lunch, supper, and she had been like napping on and off between her contractions. And then once he was
really
delivered,
napping, I was just kind of sitting there like this.
okay, yeah, that's fair. And then so I was just holding him, and I was trying to put him to bed, and he would not go to bed. Right, that was our first adventure together. He wasn't sleeping. And I swaddled him. We did everything, huh? Hi.
And that's how we got this guy.
Yeah, and I was already 5 months. You have the chubby cheeks? Hi. He's a happy guy. Chubby cheeks and blue eyes. And blonde hair.
Yeah.
And Yoda outfit. And then I put him down in his crib, and then I fell asleep.
And then it was also like really hard to walk after, you just push a baby out. So every diaper change and every time he cried, I'd have to have him get up and get him and bring him to me. So
I did all the diaper changes though.
Yeah.
And the first ones are nasty.
Yeah.
Black tar. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was funny. The last story, we'll say, was I hadn't slept in like it had been like 22 hours or something.
A long time.
A long time, and I hadn't eaten any. Wait, we didn't even have breakfast either.
No.
Because I brought granola bars, and I only was able to eat one because we had to put masks on. So when there was nurses, I didn't want to be eating.
Yeah.
So then it was like 4:35 in the morning, and then so I fell asleep, and then I guess it had only been like an hour or so, but like I woke up, and then there's like 8 pillows on me, all the phones.
I tried whipping pillows. I tried whipping my phone. I whipped my phone at him, and it hit him hard, and he didn't wake up.
She probably threw like a lamp, the telephone.
No. But I threw a lot at him to try to wake him up, and he didn't wake up. And then I was like,
And then I finally woke up,
I was crying because I'm like, I can't get up.
and the baby was crying. But then I finally woke up, and then I changed him, and then that was it. Oh, and then we left. We had to stay there for 24 hours, and we didn't leave until 11 the next day.
So on the 11th, we left at 11.
Yeah. But we finally got food. I ate so much food. That was like, hospital food normally isn't good, but I like just gulped it down.
I don't
because
understand.
I didn't get the hospital food. I had to go to like the cafeteria and get the food.
And I don't understand how these people it's not real life when people are like posting in the hospital and they're like, just had my baby. Oh my god, I look like I'm perfect.
You're wearing
It's
makeup?
not real. That's not real. Like, I couldn't get up. I looked like I had just been hit by a train. I didn't want to do anything. It's
and then,
hard.
And then we left, and then my mom brought us our car. And then we kind of just looked at each other and we said, now what?
Yep, now what?
Anyway, so that is the birth story. We apologize if it's a bit late.
A bit. 5 months.
He was so cute though. We're so happy. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see all you guys later. Hopefully we'll post more as well. And that's all from us.